Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on another one of our Hispanic professional talks or interviews that I'm having here today with Natalie. Thank you so much for joining me, Natalie.
Thank you for inviting me, Sonia.
No, my pleasure. Thank you. Today, I wanted to talk to Natalie because she is actually a fellow coach, which I think is wonderful, and she's going to share a little bit about her background, her Hispanic roots. And so, Natalie, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican and half Dominican. So my dad's side is Puerto Rican and my mom's side is Dominican. So you can tell I'm from the Caribbean. I'm Latin. I love my culture and my Hispanic language as well. I love Espanol, so that's my main language. And I think that being a woman and being Hispanic at the same time gives us an advantage in many things because we know how to confront situations and go forward and we know how to move forward with encouraging others and ourselves. So that's really neat being part of that culture.
Wonderful. So, a fellow coach, and so many times as coaches we are asked, what does a coach do? Are you a mentor? Are you a psychologist? Are you a sociologist? What? So tell us a little bit about what coaching is.
Well, coaching is mentoring. It's guiding others, like with a map, through what we have done in order to get them to be successful and shorten that path into their success. So whatever they want to do, we mold into that. But it's, like I said, it's mentoring. We have the experience, they have the goal and the dream. So we want them to be successful in doing those things. And sometimes, you think a dream looks really pretty at the same time, and then you don't know how to get there. So having the guidance from somebody else, it can avoid many challenges, and it can shorten the time in order to get to that success as well. So having the background of having academic background and having professional background and having also the entrepreneurship background gives me the opportunity to be a good tool for others in coaching.
That's wonderful. I keep telling my clients that it's like I'm your co-pilot on this road, wherever you want to go. So we can take the scenic route, we can take the direct route. I mean, it's just totally up to the client, wherever that client wants to go. So tell us, how did you get to be a coach right now, and how did all that get started for you?
Well, everything began with everything began in my teenage years. I am a mother since I'm 15, okay. So I'm a coach of my kids since 15. And then after that, I remarried and got to begin my academic life. And having the bachelor's gave me this inspiration and passion to study, which I love. And after that, I continued on my master's, and now currently I'm in my doctorate degree in psychology, in industrial and organizational psychology. So that brought me a better view of and better tools of how to help others, and especially if they're Hispanic though too. So that gives you the opportunity to move a little bit forward with people and get them, encouraged and to keep going. You're doing the right thing, or you should correct this in order to get there. Having a better view of where you're heading gives it a sense of, yes, adventure, but at the same time, less risks. So it gives you the opportunity to do a better job in what you want to you want to do or have as an end result, and not be discouraged in the way out.
I guess that's such a great, Natalie, one of the many reasons I wanted to talk to Natalie today was because I think her story is so great for all the Hispanic youth, especially young girls, to hear. She was a mother at 15, and yet here now she is going and getting her doctorate. I think that wherever you are right now or wherever you've been has nothing to do with what you can achieve going forward and what you can do. And I think that, to me, that's such a great role model, even for me, quite honestly. So, Natalie, tell us a little bit about, there may be a lot of young ladies, young Hispanic girls, who maybe are starting to have these feelings for boys and all of that, and or maybe have found themselves already maybe sexually active, or what are your thoughts for them?
First of all, we have parents for a reason. Sometimes we don't agree with everything they say. Sometimes we get discouraged, or we want to leave the family or do things. That's the mistake I made. Nevertheless, my kids are not a mistake. But I did wanted to, now I understand that I needed to follow my parents. Nevertheless, they were there in each step of the way. So they were my help as well. Even though I wanted them to leave my life, they ended up being my support. So at the same time, I you know, it gets, sometimes it gets difficult to understand that your parents are your guidance for a reason. And if you get to listen and stop for a second and think, what am I doing? Who am I surrounded by? What's the advice I'm getting? Where I want to go in life? Those things can, stopping and thinking can get you somewhere. Reacting immediately guides you to different paths that you don't want to go. I had so many struggles, so many that still, I mean, I can make a book out of it, an encyclopedia actually. But I would not encourage anybody to be a teenage mom. Nevertheless, if you are and you went ahead with having your baby, I commend you. I congratulate you, because that it takes courage to move forward into the path that you're going into. You're raising another human being. You're not raising a doll. This is something very serious. The other situation that I confronted by then was that I was too young to have jobs. So I depended many times on my parents giving permission for me to have part-times and work in order to sustain myself and my family. The person I married first, it was not the correct person at all. He was a cute guy, but he didn't have the full intentions of having a family. So that meant that he didn't work. If he worked, he didn't work enough. Things like that. So he wanted to be mostly with his friends instead of with me and with his children. And that created many other challenges that weren't supposed to be in my path. So those are things that we think everything is pink at the beginning, but it's not really. Actually, it's like a cloud right in front of you that you're not seeing what's behind it. And having the courage to have the child, it's the most beautiful thing. You're going to become a woman in all its senses, but if you can avoid it, meanwhile you're a teenager, have control and abstinence in your body, that builds a better woman. In which way? Builds a woman with control over her own self-esteem, over her body, over her mind, over her emotions, and over her actions. Okay? And that makes a stronger woman, because nobody can move what you don't allow to do. So if you take good advice from your parents, good guidance from your parents, you're going to become something really beautiful. But at the same time, if you don't have that encouragement from your family, from your parents, from anybody in your community, be the encourager. Turn the page. Be the encourager. Be wiser in your decisions. Usually boys tend to be action driven. So whatever their body says, they want to do. And then girls, we tend to mature at really early stages. So if you have better control of your thoughts, of your body, you have control over your world. That is the most important advice I can ever give you.
Oh, Natalie, I think that's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. I think there's nothing more to say. If you find yourself in such a position, let me just offer you, please contact me. Contact me, reach out to
Or
me.
me.
There you go. You got two friends.
Yes.
And so there is no reason for you to go through this by yourself. We will help you as much as we can. Let me ask you this. You know, there are a lot of people that I talk to, and me myself, also being an entrepreneur, that we talk about the struggles that entrepreneurs go through. So can you give me maybe one or two tips that you think entrepreneurs should think about before they get started down this road?
Okay. So the first one is get a better structure of what you need in your business and what you don't. Sometimes, so the first 5 years of a startup are the most critical stages of a business in order to get growing as a business. So sit down, do an accounting list of what are your expenses and what are your needs.
Mm-hmm.
Because expenses are not really the needs, are not necessarily the needs. Sometimes we spend on things that we really don't need the first years. We want to grow big on the first time. And actually that's not what a business is built of. Usually businesses are built in relationships. If you can build a relationship with your clients, that is more important than building a reputation at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually the reputation comes out from that relationship.
Exactly. Okay.
So building relationship is the first thing I would say. The second one, like I said, having knowledge of your expenses and of what your needs. If you can avoid spending in something really big, do.
Mm-hmm.
There are many ways to save. Actually, we live in a time where we can work from home. If you don't need an office, don't do it. I just went through that mistake. I had a contract for an office that I really didn't need. It did help with growing the business, but at the same time, I didn't need it. So my clients come to me and I go to their locations. There's no need for me to have an office. So I took that out of the way. But still, those are things that you keep on learning on the path. So have a journal of, that would be my third advice. Have a journal of what the road was like in order to build that business. That becomes a diary of the first stages of the business. And you can start showing what did you learn, what were the mistakes, and how did you grow in it. Don't get discouraged. This will drive you into not getting discouraged, and learn what have you learned every day from the business. And if you had that big dream, don't let it go. Mm-hmm. That would be my fourth and my little extra tip. Don't let that dream go. Keep on it, because if you have a dream, there's a reason for it. Mm-hmm. You're going to be the one that's going to be either congratulated or blamed up. So every success is going to be yours, but also from every mistake, there's a learning skills that you get. So I definitely don't let those dreams go. Keep on them. If you need to have a job or a part-time job or anything to sustain that dream, please do it. There's no shame on working for somebody else in order to get there. But keep that dream going. Have that journal. Know your expenses and your needs, and also keep going. Keep going.
You know, I think that's honestly great advice. And my suggestion is, if you can afford a coach, a business coach, by all means do so. Or if not, join a community, because the road is difficult. I am not discouraging anybody. I want everybody who has that dream of becoming an entrepreneur to do so, which I think is wonderful. And not too long ago, I was reading that Hispanics are actually becoming entrepreneurs at a faster rate and are much younger. So by all means, join a group, so that you can have accountability and you don't feel so alone down this road to entrepreneurship, because the struggles are real. But like I said, and like certainly Natalie so well stated, keep going down that path because that's really important. Natalie, one last question.
Yes.
What else would you like to leave us with today? What other thoughts do you have? Just kind of share whatever's on your heart right now.
Well, businesses definitely, I see a need in business plans. Business plans are not only for lending or anything like that. It's for you to build your little dream in written. You can change it anytime. It's no need for, if you don't have to pay for it, great, if you know how to do it. But if you don't, definitely try to sit down and build that dream in reality. So the business plan is more for the use of the business owner than to anybody else. Second of all, marketing plans. Sit down and plan your advertising. Sit down and plan what do you need in order for the client to memorize you every time and prefer you every time they need your service. Because if you don't, it will get to the season where you don't have clients and you will have to build that plan anyways. So if you get to do that on the get-go, that's fabulous. That will help you as well. On the Hispanic side, I wanted to speak to the women and the teenagers. One of the strengths that we have as women is that we are confident. We are extremely confident, and that helps us through any struggles in life. If we believe in ourselves, we can do so many things. Do not pay attention to what people say. Do not pay attention to other people's dreams on you. Believe in your own dreams. Believe in your purpose, your reason of being. You have a purpose to be here. So fully go forward with it. Enjoy having the ability of having full body, being you, and being the beautiful you, because there's only one you in this earth. So that would be my main suggestion to Hispanic women. Be confident of who you are. Nobody else is like you. And then to teenagers, Hispanic teenagers, girls, you are so important for our future. You have no idea of the ways you can change this life. If you do the correct things, you will do so much good. But at the same time, if you don't and you make mistakes, don't get discouraged.
That's right.
Life is full of challenges. And you make the best out of it after you learn the lesson. So sit down, think of where you want to be in the future, and guide yourself through it, no matter what anybody tells you. You want to be in NASA, you will be in NASA if you believe so. You want to be the leader of your community, you will be the leader of your community, globally, internationally, locally, whatever you decide. But it's your decision to fully put the power into it. So move forward towards your dreams. Don't let them go down. If you make mistakes in the way, learn and go back into your path. That's how you go. There's nothing else I can advise you on that. But learn that you're only one and beautiful. You are beautiful because there's only one you in this world.
That's right. And you're irreplaceable.
Yes,
Which is
that's
even
correct.
more important. That's wonderful, Natalie. Thank you so much for opening up and being so wonderful and such great insights. It was really great.
Thank you, Sonia, for all the opportunity that I'm so glad I've met you. I'm so glad we had the opportunity to have this interview, and I wish you lots of success. I know that you will reach the glass, and you will break it for us. So thank you for that. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much. If people want to connect with you, how can they do that?
Yes, they can go into our website, Be Strategic, so BSTRATEGIK. I know it's difficult. .com, or my phone number, it's 940-218-8814. You can reach me there, or you can send me an email at natalie.despiau@bestrategic.com.
And don't worry, you don't have to memorize it. I'll have it all in the post.
You can review rewind the video or pause it.
Absolutely. Very good. Well, once again, thank you, Natalie.
Thank you. Pleasure.
And thanks so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, by all means, feel free to post them. And until we see each other again, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.